Hi, I'm Katie from the Hires team, and today I'm going to give you a handover on our Globecar Roadscout. We'll start in the passenger door pocket. You're going to have a welcome pack. In this, it's got lots of useful information of campsites and stuff. Also, it's got emergency contact numbers should you need to get in touch with us. Also is the vehicle specifics for the Roadscout manual, and this is a written copy of everything that we're going to go round and speak to you about the van today. Also in the door pocket, we are a member of the Camping and Caravan Club privilege scheme, and you can get discounts if you stay at their campsites, and all the information's inside. Also, we have a Scotland A to Z map book just to keep you in the right direction. Also up here we have a rough guide to Scotland book and the official North Coast 500 map. There's a little bag there for rubbish, so you can just keep our lovely country tidy. Prior to your hire, all the under bonnet checks have been carried out, but should you need to go under your bonnet, if you just pull this lever here and that will pop your bonnet. Just above the glove box, we've got a handy little checklist before you set off to make sure you've unplugged your vehicle, you haven't left your levelling ramps or anything like that. It's a handy thing to run through before you go. Moving on, we go into the glove box. We have a microfiber cloth for any condensation you should have in the morning. We have a small torch, we have a pen, we also have an aux cable, and we have a first aid kit. This grey key is your wastewater key, and we'll explain that when we move to the outside of the van. In the evening, when you want to keep the light out and the heat in, we have some windscreen blinds. You just take this bit here and you squeeze them together and open the blind. There's also one on the driver's side, which they meet in the middle magnetically, and they'll stay together. In the morning, you just take that again, you push it back, and making sure when you replace them in, you hear that firm click, and that is them secured. We also have the side window ones, which are quite fiddly. Again, you take the two bits and you squeeze them together and gently guide them down. There's a rail they run on. Again, they come in here and they secure magnetically. Again, in the morning, you squeeze the two bits. Again, just put your hand on them and guide them back, and we should hear that nice click again, and that means they are secured. The vehicle is diesel. The diesel tank is located on the passenger side just here. When you leave for your holiday, it will be full of diesel, and when you come to return it, if you just refill it. Next, we move on to the toilet cassette. In here, you press two buttons, pop them in together, and the flap lifts up. It is magnetic, but be careful on a windy day, just in case it does blow down. You'll see in here, your toilet cassette, you'll see a small blue handle. If you lift the handle up and pull, this takes out your toilet cassette. Your toilet cassette must be emptied at a campsite. This will be an L-SAN or black waste point. So to empty it, you pull this round and you unscrew the cap. You pick it up and you just tilt it until everything comes out. Should you find there's a blockage or it runs slow, you press this button here, which causes a air thing to go in, and it will all come out much quicker. Once you've done that, you need to rinse your toilet cassette a couple of times. So you would pull this open. This here opens the blade, and that's you inside your cassette. A bit of hose or water, give it a scoosh out a couple of times and empty it until your water runs clear. Once you've done that, there's some L-SAN toilet chemical in the van, which we provide, and you put a good glug back in there, and then you close it all up, close the blade, close that over, put it all back in, then you just pop it back in at an angle, and then push till you hear the click, and that's your toilet cassette done. Next, we come to your wastewater. This is the water that comes out of your sinks and your shower, and it's gathered in a tank underneath the van. It's also known as your grey wastewater. To empty your water, it has to be done at a campsite. The waste pipe is about 60 centimetres under the van, so you would have to drive over a drain and then you'd need to empty it. You get your key from your glove box, you pop it on here at the 9 o'clock position and put it down. You hear the water drain out, take a couple of minutes. Once it's all drained, you just return it back to the 9 o'clock position, pop the key off and put it back in your glove box. This here is your tumour vent. This is the vent for your boiler, so if you're using it you may see steam coming out of it, but it's all normal and quite good, it's fine. Next we move on to your hookup. So this is where you get your electricity into the van. There's a little flip there, pop that on. You take your hookup cable, which is supplied and it is in the van for you, lift the lid and you just pop it on, put it in nice and tight, and that's you. To undo it, there's a small blue handle just on the inside. If you pop down with your thumb and give a firm pull, and that's you unhooked, and then just give that a little pop. We're around at the rear of the van now. To open the rear doors, you take the handle, firm pull, and it opens the door. These doors do go all the way around, so be very careful on a windy day, just in case they do catch. To open this door, there's a black catch, pull it towards you, and it opens here. Once we're in the back, we've got your garage area. In this here, we have a coffee table for you. There's an umbrella for our lovely weather. You've got your hookup head cable, as we discussed earlier. In here is your fresh water hose. So when you come to fill up your fresh water, we have an emergency water carrier, should anything go wrong, which it won't. We have our levelling ramps. Should you park your van on uneven ground, you can just level it up there. And here is a pet friendly van. We have a dog stake, super handy when you have your pet with you. This is your gas locker in the back. It will be full when you go out for your hire. So to get into here, you press the 2 buttons and open the door. You have your gas cylinder and an emergency gas cylinder. These are refillable, which will be, as I say, will be full at the time of hire. They are fitted with a gas flow system, so should there be an accident or you hit a pothole or anything, that it will cut the gas off to the front of the van as a safety feature. To reset it is very easy. They are fitted with a couple of buttons on the pipes. You press the button one at a time, there's 3 buttons, and that will reset the gas. But as I said earlier, there is a manual in the front of the van that explains this procedure to you. The back windows of the van are quite easy to use. You just pop these out. These are on a strut system, so once they go out, they'll just stay out. And then to close them, you just pull them in and make sure they're secure. And make sure before you leave and drive off that all these vans, the windows are securely closed, because if you are driving, they could catch wind and pop off. Also in the back of these vans, we have blinds for the night time. Again, keep the light out and the heat in. You lift that up and you get your nighttime blind, and this is also fitted with a mosquito one, and you just pop them up. This takes us around to our freshwater tank. It's a 100-litre tank that holds fresh water. To unlock the tank, you use a small key in your key ring, unlock it, and then twist the key off. Put it in a safe place so you don't lose it. You take your freshwater hose from the back. It's a 5-metre length of hose, which has a fitting for most taps. You pop it in there. Once your water starts to come out, that's your tank full. There is a sensor on the inside that helps you keep a tab on how much water is on your waste and how much fresh water you has left. Once you've done that, anyway, you lock that, put that back on, and then lock it. Coming to the side door of the van, it is fitted with a soft close system. So what we do is when you close the van, you'll hear a little mechanism. It takes the van door and it closes it. But when you're closing it, make sure you either hold it from here or the handle and never from the blind. It's quite fragile and it will break. So what we'll do is we'll close it with a bit of force and you'll hear the little mechanism. Once that has finished, then you can then lock the vehicle. If you were to lock the vehicle from the outside before that is finished, you may jam the system and you'd have to come in from the front doors to reopen the door. As I say, when you're closing the door, not to pull it from here because the blinds are quite... So if you're just really gentle and then just pop them down. And same with a motorhome isn't a house and things are slightly more fragile if you're just gentle with everything. We're here and this is your toilet and shower area. Where I'm standing is your shower tray. There's this wood that you just lift up and underneath is your shower tray. So the roller door to enclose yourself into the shower is you just pull this round. I'll vanish for a second. And you just pull this round and that will be you enclosed in your shower. And to open it, you just push it round again. When you come into your toilet, we've got this door here, which is secured by this strap. If you just pop that on, it just keeps the door shut when you're travelling, and pull it round. Inside here, you'll find your sink and your toilet. The sink is a fold away sink. There's a little black knob here. If you pull that out, and the sink will go up. Your toilet it's adjustable, so you can swing it around, and if you need more leg room, you just pull it around. We have a dual tap in here. What it is, this also acts as your shower. So you pull this out for your shower, and it just pops up in here for your shower. Then we have a shower curtain also that you just pull across, just fix that your comes through there, and it's held magnetically. The tap in the bathroom is a lever tap. To turn the tap on, you lift the tap, and it's left or right for hot and cold water. The tap itself is a dual system. You can have a constant flow, or you can have water on demand. For the constant flow, you have it locked in this position here, and for water on demand, you unlock it by sliding it back and popping it up. To get your water on demand, you press the lever down for water and release it to stop. Now we come to your toilet. The toilet is in this position when you get the van, but should you need much more leg room, the toilet will swivel like that so you get yourself comfortable. It's just a normal lifter lid, and you'll see in here there's a black blade, as we call it. There's a handle here, so when you come to use the toilet, what we recommend is you open that blade, and everything will go straight into your toilet cassette. To open the blade, you pull this handle forward, and you'll see that it opens up. You use the toilet, there's a flush just at the side here with the blue button. You press that, flush everything away, and then you need to close the blade by again pressing your grey handle, push it backwards. That will stop any smells or any splashes when you're driving. And then just pop your toilet over, and you can put it back into position. As we're talking about the blade, when you come to empty your toilet cassette, if you feel that you cannot pull your toilet cassette out and it's stiff or it's jammed, you need to come back inside and check that this grey lever is pushed to the back to make sure the blade is closed, because it will not open, you can't get your toilet cassette out if the blade is open, and you could cause some damage. This is a control panel for the van. This is the one that works your water pump and your electric. To switch it on, you press the button and you see his lights come on. This is your battery level van. So when you press that, it tells you the level of your batteries. In the motorhomes, they have two batteries. They've got a vehicle battery and a leisure battery. The leisure battery is what runs and powers all the electric in the back of the van. This leisure battery will charge while you're driving, and it will also charge while you're plugged in. So to explain this again, this will tell you how much charge is in your battery, and the lower you go, obviously the less power you have. And when it gets to the red, you have to either have a really long drive or get plugged in. Moving down to the next one, this is your fresh water button. I'm going to press this just now, but at the moment you'll see it's low. The van has no water in it at the moment, but this would be, if it was full, it would be obviously at 100%, and when you pick your van up for your hire, it will be full of water. The lower one is your wastewater, but again, at the moment there's no wastewater in the vehicle, so it won't light up. When your vehicle is plugged in to the mains, this little light here will highlight orange, and when you're ready to go, you've spent your night and you're ready to move on, you have to make sure you've come here and switch this panel off. This is our Truma panel. This panel controls your heating and your hot water in the van. To wake the panel up, you press the centre button and it comes up with these symbols. You'll see there's a dark line with no symbols above and the symbols below. This at the moment letting you know there's nothing on. This small plug here lets you know that you are plugged in at a campsite for mains electric. We'll wake it up again. First of all, you need to set your power supply. We'll go up to this one and press in. This is EL2. This is for when you're plugged into mains electric at the campsite. You select, the only other one you would use would be gas. If you were wild camping, you would select gas. At the moment, because we're plugged in, we'll select it. To select it, you press the button, and that's that one. We'll move back to the temperature. So you move back to the motorhome, select it by pressing it, and then by turning the dial, you select your temperature. Once you're at your desired temperature, you press it in again. So moving to your hot water, again, you just scroll over, select it by pressing the button. It's got settings, two settings on here. We've got Eco, which is 40 degrees, and we have hot, which is 60 degrees. We recommend that you stick with Eco because it's just a better temperature. So again, to select Eco, you would press the button in. You'll notice now we've selected them that they are flashing. Once the temperature and the water has reached the correct temperature, they will go static. Now the hot water, it's a 10-litre tank and it takes up to 30 minutes on gas to reach the temperature and 40 minutes on mains electricity. Now as you can see, everything's starting to heat up. You can go along here to the fan setting. Again, you just press into it. You've got Eco or you've got High. To be honest, it doesn't make much difference. All it is blowing the air round the van. Now, once you've spent your night and you're ready to leave the next day, you have to make sure that you switch everything off. So we just have to wake this up again. So we'll select the temperature, you click into it, put it back to 0, and then you just select again by pressing the middle button. Go on to your water, select it by pressing the button, select it to off, and press it in. Now that's all off. Now because we're in EL2, you don't need to touch this one, but if you were on gas, what we would recommend is going back into it and setting it to EL2. That then switches your gas off, so when you're travelling, there will be no gas coming into the vehicle. One important thing to remember, if you're wild camping and using gas only, once your water has reached the right temperature, you need to go back to the panel and switch the water system off. That way you will stop using gas unnecessarily. In the kitchen area of the Roadscout, in this cupboard, to open this cupboard, there's a little flap at the back. You can push that down and lift the cupboard. You'll see you've got a kettle. There's also a gas version depending on whether you're hooked up or you're wild camping. There's also a toaster and there's a camping toaster as well. Down in this cupboard here, we've got your pots and pans. And they've got some other utensils as well. You've got your full cutlery set and cooking utensils. In the top drawer, to open these drawers, you push that and the handle comes out. We've got cleaning products in the drawer, and also we've got your cups and your crockery, everything that you need in there. In the Roadscout, it's a small fridge. It's a 12-volt fridge. It only runs off your leisure battery. There is a little lock on the door to stop it from opening while you're driving. If you push the lock forward, open the door. It is a very small fridge, just to have your basics in. And when you close it, make sure you pop that forward again, and that locks your door for travelling. There's a skylight in the Roadscout. You've got your nighttime blind, which you pull over. And there's also your insect screen. To open the skylight, you pull your handle round here, you wind one way to open it, and then obviously back the other way to close it. Do make sure it's fully round before you pop that away. We will make sure it's closed completely before you drive, because it can be caught in the wind and pop off. And also, if you were to go for a walk, it's a good idea to close that before you go, just in case you come back to a van full of midges. The Roadscout Automatic is obviously an automatic gearbox. You can see on the dashboard there, it's got auto and an N. That's you in neutral. To get it to go, you come over here to the gear stick and you just push it down. That will automatically put you into automatic 1, as you can see on there, and then you'll drive. Now, should you want to drive in manual, if you're on a hilly area and you need to put it into manual, you come across here and you push the gear stick away from you, and then you'll see on the dash the automatic disappears, and that's you in manual. To go up the gearbox, you push it down, and then to come back down the gearbox, you push it up. Now once you've finished it with manual and you want to go back into automatic, you take the gear lever and you push it away from you, and you'll see that automatic has come back onto the screen, and then you're fine to drive as normal on automatic. To move into reverse gear, you then take the lever towards you and down, and that's you in reverse, and again you'll see it on the screen. And then to go back to neutral once you're finished, you lift that up, put it towards you and up, and that's you back into neutral, which you can see on the screen.